Chapter 8, Mishnah 5. As we have learned previously, a get must have a date on it. The rabbis instituted that the date should be based on the reign of the king of the country in which the get is written. For example, in the 3rd year of King so-and-so. A get must also state the place where it was written and signed. The Mishnah teaches what happens when the date and place are not written correctly. If someone wrote a get in Babylonia and dated it according to the kings of the uncultured empire, i.e. the Roman Empire, or according to the kings of the Median Empire, or according to the kings of the Greek Empire, or according to the years since the building of the temple, or since the destruction of the temple, or if the scribe was in a town in the east when he wrote the get, and the witnesses signed it there, but he wrote in the get that he was in a town in the west, or he was in the west when he wrote it, but he wrote in the get that he was in the east. In all these cases, the get is invalid. And if she marries someone else based on it, she is subject to the following list of penalties. She must leave both this one, the first husband, and that one, the second husband, like a woman who committed adultery. And she needs to receive a get from both this one and that one before she can remarry someone else. And she receives payment neither for her kasuba, nor for the produce they took from her properties, nor for food, nor for her worn-out property. Not from this one, the first husband, and not from that one, the second husband. And even if she took payment for these things from either of them, she must return it. Aside from the penalties she suffers personally, there are also consequences for her children and for the two men to whom she was married. And the child she has after she remarried from either this one or that one is a mamzer, like a child born from adultery. And if she dies and they are kohanim, neither this one nor that one may become tameh to her corpse, because the first husband is really no longer married to her, and the second husband was not permitted to marry her. And neither this one nor that one has the right to the lost objects she finds, or to the money she earns for her work, nor do they have the right to cancel her vows. Some privileges that this woman loses. If she was the daughter of a non-Kohen, she now becomes disqualified from marrying a Kohen. If she was the daughter of a Levi, she becomes disqualified from eating Meiser. And if she was the daughter of a Kohen, she becomes disqualified from eating Terumah. Some consequences to the relatives of these two men. If she dies before these men, neither the heirs of this one nor the heirs of that one inherit the extra money promised to them in her kasuba. And if the husbands die without children, both this one's brother and that one's brother must perform chalitza with her, but not yibum. The Mishnah now teaches that if certain other details of the get are not written correctly, the same rules apply. If the person writing the get changed the husband's name or the wife's name, that is, he wrote the wrong name for one of them, or he wrote the name of his city or the name of her city incorrectly, and then her husband gave her this get and she married someone else, she must leave this one, the first husband, and that one, the second husband, and all these ways, i.e. penalties, apply to her.